IQ Queens here. That's your phrase.
No, that's a lie from Crystal. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. It's your girl Tasha, IQ Queen, ready for another show.
Rebound that lasted too long.
Right? And now you just fucking miserable.
Here, no deal.
Hey,
Mike, who am I? You know, those are just my opinions. Just like assholes, everyone has them.
Exactly. I'm cool. Listen, depending on how much more out here charging, paying motherfuckers, I'll shame my mama for that money.
I'ma take. You ready to start the show? Young lady.
Absolutely.
Hello. This is your girl Crystal here, and I'm accompanied by the lovely.
Hey, it's your girl Tasha here for another episode.
We actually have a special guest in the building today with us, you guys. You know, we've been waiting on a guest for a little minute. Finally, we have a guest, Mr. Andre. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you, man? How
I am
doing?
good. We are good.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
How do you feel being in the lioness den?
Hey, I'm cool,
Feel
man.
safe?
You know, everybody seem chill. You know, we got little refreshments, so I feel like, you know, we're comfortable.
You know, hey, we got a lot of hospitality here. We Southern ladies.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Some of the shows that we're going to be covering today, Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. Have you seen it, Tasha?
I saw a couple episodes.
And then Love is Blind. Everyone was talking about that one on Facebook. Too Hot to Handle. Kind of like you know, those Paradise Island type shows or whatever. They take, nobody's a couple. So everybody's single. They take all these singles to this island, and they're in the process of trying to find, you know what, I think they're there thinking that they're just about to have a whole fuck fest the whole time. But they definitely nip that shit in the bud a few hours in. Yeah, a few hours in. You know, they're like, so.
Ain't no fucking going on.
Ain't no fucking going on. You're not kissing nobody. You can't masturbate. You can't do anything. So you just like.
I don't like this show.
No. So you ain't got nothing going on. You know, most of the times you watch those things, you're like, oh, them boys about to be creeping. Let me see what's going on. Not in here, buddy. You don't get to sleep with anybody. And they're trying to teach the people to, I guess, find meaningful relationships. The shit was good to me.
I guess my thing is like, I feel like you can find meaningful relationships and still be fucking out here.
Right, you know. So what is the end goal of the show?
So they're supposed to find meaningful love.
Okay.
And then if they go through the whole thing without having sex or masturbating or anything like that, then they win $100,000. So every time that someone commits like an offense against the rules, they lose money.
So what are they doing like through the day? Like partying, drinking?
I mean, like they have different little things that they do. They do like team building exercises for the males, team building females, team building things for you as a couple, like just different things throughout the day. And they're there for like a month.
Right.
So anytime that you do anything sexual, you get money deducted from it. So, you know, some people are there and they're like, hey, like just hold off, like chill out, let's get this money. You know, and other people are like, well, I don't really care. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And that shit poses a whole problem.
Right.
So with Love is Blind, these people are in these like little pods. Have you seen it, Tasha? Okay. It's like they're in these little pods. You don't get to see the person or know what they look like or anything like that. You're just talking to them like an opaque wall. In a sense. You can only hear their voice and they can tell you about themselves. I didn't see anything on there that said they had any rules for you to say like, oh, what do you look like and stuff like that. But I don't think people
Nobody asked.
Yeah,
nobody.
One guy said something stupid. He was like, oh, you sound like you're black. I was like, the fuck? Like, that shit rude as fuck. I was like, you know what? I'm chuck you to deuces, buddy. For the most part, once they finish, you know, having these conversations day in, day out, I think for like, is it like a week that they have the conversations in the pod? And then by the end of that week, the guy or the girl, somebody is going to propose.
It's not even a week.
Yeah, it don't seem like a long time.
I don't know. It could be, but from like when you watch it, it don't seem like that long of a time period whatsoever.
Yeah. So once they talk to each other for a long period of time and they feel like they have a spiritual, emotional connection and all this other stuff, then one person proposes. And after they propose, so now you see the person, you're like, oh, okay, this is who I'm going to marry. You get put in a situation where y'all go on like a pre-honeymoon type thing. You know, where they take them somewhere to some other island or whatever, and they just get to spend time together and stuff. And then they go home and then they live together for like a week. And then in that process, they're in the process of planning their wedding. And then here the wedding day comes, and now you have to say whether you will or won't get married.
Even if I met somebody face to face first, right, and I was physically attracted to them, and then, all the rest of that stuff came, I still wouldn't want to live with you for no extended period of time. I just met you. Try to propose you in such a short period. Like, that shit sound crazy in any situation you was to put it in.
Yeah. It definitely sounds crazy. One of the guys, he apparently is bisexual.
Yes. He fucking is.
So he's out here. And the girl, he finally sits down and tells the girl that he is bisexual. So I don't even think...
Gosh, that's the problem.
The girl tries to understand what he's saying, like, tries to be sympathetic or whatever, and listen to him and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, they ended up breaking up. So there ended up being, I think, other girl, her and the guy that she was with, once she saw him, she knew she didn't like him because he was short.
Oh,
he
man.
wasn't all that attractive. I feel like for this show, they did okay with picking people, but like for those other shows, like Too Hot to Handle, like they don't even put people on there that you really want to knock off. Like, I feel like you need to make the temptation prevalent, especially with the females. Like, you see the girls, you be like, oh, bitch, all right. Like, you ain't got no fat up, like, you ain't got nothing on there to be like, definitely gonna smash. You know what I mean? Like, so, for me, I think they need somebody else that does their casting.
Yeah.
Because it's not always, the people aren't that alluring.
Yeah.
To me when I look at it.
And I mean, we was talking about this the other day, where Tokyo Vanity got into some trouble because she said she didn't want to fuck niggas who fuck niggas.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I mean, and
that's
then,
her preference.
They attacked her for it.
I definitely think that's her preference.
It's her body and her choice.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this.
Attack her for that.
Yeah. Like, the LGBTQ community attacked her for that shit.
Man.
They felt away.
They felt away, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, as a woman who tends to sleep with other women, right? If I was to meet a nigga tomorrow I was super vibing with, and that nigga would say, you fuck other bitches, I can't fuck with you, I would have no choice but to respect that shit.
Ain't no man gonna say
but,
that shit.
Listen, you just follow along with my logic here, okay, Drake?
All right.
I would have no other choice but to respect his decision.
Absolutely.
Even though most men wouldn't
say that,
do that.
But that's their decision. Yeah, that's a personal decision. Like, that's you saying, oh, I won't date outside my race.
People care too much about everything outside of their own situation.
Yeah.
Run-of-the-mill people don't care. But when you get into like that celebrity status, and I were to make a comment saying, hey, don't fuck white bitches, that is going to be a problem for me to say out loud.
I mean, and that's just what,
the
role you accepting.
Crystal just makes sure that shit goes.
I try to, look out for you.
Hey, it's just what the public think, man. The public opinion can make or break you, man. So
yeah. So let me ask y'all this. With Too Hot to Handle, y'all know the main thing was no sex or anything like that. What's the importance of sex in the beginning of a relationship?
It just depends.
In the beginning?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I'm not about to date you for 9 months. We going out on dates, we hanging out, we doing all this, and we in a whole relationship, and then it comes time, and you got a baby penis. Right? That is going to be hard.
This may sound wild, right? But I don't think there's anything wrong with, say y'all having a good night kiss and you slide your hand down his pants. Just to
wait a minute.
feel things out.
I feel like if you doing all that, shit.
I'm just trying to see what's going on. I'm not saying I want to fuck right now. But I'm saying there's a possibility I'm going to want to fuck at some point.
So you going to give me a good night kiss, you going to grab my shit, and then that's it.
That should seem inappropriate as fuck, Tasha. That should seem real inappropriate.
No, I mean, I ain't even saying it's inappropriate.
That shit is definitely inappropriate.
It ain't going to stop there. I got to have you. I got to have you.
Would you be in an extended relationship? Like, how important is sex really at the beginning of a relationship?
It just depends on the person.
I really think it just depends on the person.
There's no set answer. I think once you get established and start seeking more from life, man, you really want to get to know a person, and it ain't just physical.
And that is absolutely true. I strongly agree.
Physical is a very large part of a long-term relationship.
I don't necessarily have those type of...
I'm not saying I don't want to know all about a person and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. That shit is important because you got to see if you and that person mesh or whatever the case is. A small penis is definitely a deal breaker. But now you telling me we can't even be, like, spontaneous because now what, you gonna bring a toy in your pocket? Like...
Hey, Crystal.
You felt attacked, didn't you?
Man.
I feel attacked. You know what I'm saying? Because it just depends on the situation at hand. You know, because some motherfuckers out here, like, they keep it
on deck.
Keep it on deck.
Do they?
Keep what on deck?
So let me
know Dre is aware.
Let me explain you what Dre.
Clearly, I'm not.
Okay.
So Natasha is a lesbian, but if she would really describe what her sexual orientation is, it would be a pansexual.
Right.
Yeah. No, pansexual more so meaning she dates people based on the vibe that she gets from them, like and things like that. But she leans more towards females. She's
right.
Me and Tasha had a conversation the other day.
Saying, but I can't do that because I ain't fucking with.
So that's not gonna work.
Fucking with no dude. Nah.
So that's what some people just have toys on deck. That's kind of what she's referring to.
But I tend to date bitches who.
So do they walk? You know what?
No, they definitely because that's weird, and I wouldn't like that. But I feel like that should be available at all times.
Exactly, and this is the thing. Like, if you have a guy with a small penis, like y'all in love and y'all doing all these things, and then what if you just want to, I'm gonna pop up at his job, we're gonna do it in the car, like just to give him a little lunch.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
I guess the question is, what is like?
That's not a common scenario.
But like,
I feel
it's not a common
What
scenario.
is the real, like, what's the real definition of a little penis?
What's the definition of a little?
Exactly.
Tasha, I mean,
when I had the rope, my hands my hands are smaller than Crystal's hands, okay?
Right.
When I had the Roku remote in my hand, it seemed bigger than what Crystal had in her hand.
We're going to pause for a second. If anybody has Roku, y'all know what the size of the Roku remote is. This is not like something that's out of the way. We know, a lot of people have Roku. We're not talking about no big-ass universal remote.
No.
We're talking about itty-bitty little Roku remote. And that ain't only got the volume on the side. A little on the side.
So if you had to, like, base off that remote, what size would you say that is?
What? That's a baby
Is
penis?
Small, medium,
no, this
large?
is Crystal. That is.
So that's a good
man,
question because
you out here getting
same way she scared, that might not be enough for you. So you can't ask one person that question, man. It
now there is such thing as like people who actually do have like micro penises. That's like a thing. Now if you have a micro penis,
I'm so sorry for the people.
Gosh, that is a terrible situation to be in.
It's a horrible life.
Men who have micro penises tend to be very wealthy. Sometimes you can look past things.
You would look past it. Where is it?
Man, I was watching.
I think your best bet in that situation is to talk them into getting a girlfriend, and then you and the girl.
You ain't even obligated to do nothing.
Like,
you just
y'all get them out the way quick, and then y'all do what y'all gotta do. You know what I'm saying? If I had to put my personal opinion
on it, the worst thing in that
that's what I
scenario.
would say.
You got a micro penis with a motherfucker just as hard as you want. You're like, hey, you need to come on and come. This is not gonna work.
And then what if you had a micro penis and then a bitch gotta work hard because she can't suck your dick.
The devil
so
is
lick your dick for
I can't. I'm not talking about this. I'm done. I am done.
Yeah, man. That's
Either way.
like you said,
but that is a medical condition.
Either way.
Question, it just depends on
sex
the person.
at the beginning of a relationship. I guess it depends on the person. Because a lot of people enter relationships where they're celibate.
Hey, let me put this out. If y'all just vibe and y'all just like that, y'all have sex on the first, we don't always think y'all are old. Sometimes it just happen like that.
That is true.
I don't think, like, I done had women like, man, I like her. You know what I'm saying? We had sex maybe soon, but that don't automatically write you off, man. So, you know.
But I think you're a decent individual, right, Dream? 87% of these niggas out here are not decent individuals.
No, they are not. So
they out here trying to get
like, hey, I don't know
right.
that
I think, majority of them, they want to get in.
When I meet a dude or whatever, I'm talking to a dude, the biggest turn off you could ever do is to ask me to have sex with you.
Oh my God.
Or to send me a picture of dick.
Right.
Biggest turns off.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I think.
And I think people are so
if we out hanging
ready
out,
to do that nowadays.
If we out hanging out, I don't think it's not me asking you. It's just we get to that stage. And
that's different. That's
I would prefer that than like you just.
I feel like everybody go out the vibe. The vibe is so heavy.
Yeah.
It just happened, man. You drinking, y'all having a good time, shit. Y'all comfortable, shit.
I think as long as you're comfortable and that guy or whoever you're with is comfortable, then there's no problem with that.
Right.
But I think where the problem comes in, some of these niggas
be thinking they
pressure.
They be thinking they vibing.
Yeah, and I'm like, in real life, I'm just trying to get the fuck. I'm trying to eat this free meal and get the fuck out.
Dudes know they just don't care, man. They got like you say, they're like, man, I'm paying for your food, I'm doing this. You know what time.
I spit off your credit card and fucking slide on your.
And I super disrespectful because I pay for my own food.
Hey,
just to let you know, I'm not that one.
I'm not paying for a motherfucking thing.
Everybody different.
I just told my homegirl to Lisa the other day. I said, man, listen, if a dude talk to me and they feel like I'm playing hard to get, I'm actually not trying to be caught. I'm not gonna play hard to get. I don't see the point in all of that stuff or whatever. I'm not that type of person. Like either it is or it ain't. And if you think I'm playing hard to get, then I probably don't want to talk to you.
I met my ex, right? That was the first time I met somebody. I was just vibing heavy. I didn't want just a sexual relationship. Mm-hmm. I wanted to really get to know her. Mm-hmm. I wanted to really like see where shit went before I took it in a sexual direction. Mm-hmm. But it made her feel like
you weren't attracted to her.
And it's like no, like I just and because she already knew that I low-key had like a reputation for kind of smashing and keeping it going, and the fact that I wasn't trying to fuck, I'm like, no, the reason why I'm not trying to fuck you is because I want to get to know like all of you before we enter into an intimate relationship. I want to get to know. I want to fuck you mentally. Before we ever touch each other physically. But I think it all just depends on the particular person that you're with. Because sometimes you just get that vibe from a person. Mm-hmm. Like I want to know why your sister lost custody of her children. You know, I want to have those deep conversations.
About you being nosy. You super you being all the way nosy. I want to know why. That's important to me. I feel like I should know the answer to that question.
Damn, she did all that. That's why DSS came and got her churn.
Fuck. So I mean, I'm just trying to find out. You like that or what?
You a sorry bitch too? I just want to know.
So as far as the importance of sex in the beginning relationship, it's based on the person. It's based on the relationship itself. All that good stuff. So sexual compatibility within a relationship. So after you've already reached that point, sexual compatibility, meaning if you, as you know, the person in a relationship wants more or less, like how does that work?
I think it comes down to conversation.
Because a lot of times, guys that work a lot and stuff, you know, like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to have sex or whatever the case is. Or the lady will be like, oh, I'm tired, I've already worked all day, I don't want to do this or whatever the case is. How do you feel in a situation like that?
I feel like it's a give or take situation. Like, I feel like, yes, as you, the person that's wanting it, should definitely respect that other person, the fact that they've had a long day and things of that nature. But that other person should still have enough care for you to see, like, oh, like, you know, this person's been trying to fuck me for 3 days, and I know it's been crazy, I know it's been tired. And I think in those situations, compromise is important. Like, as women, we tend to do it more often than men.
So I've heard.
So it's like, okay, we tired. I don't really feel like fucking you, but I'm gonna fuck you just because I know this is something you really want.
Dudes, we don't smash when we don't want to. You know that we be like, we tired. And I think if you're in a serious relationship, like you're saying, I think basically it's a conversation. Like, you know, babe, it's not that I don't want you. It's just, you know, I'm frustrated, I'm tired, I'm work. You know what I'm saying? And with women, from my experience, it's always like a constant reassuring thing. So you always gotta let them know that it's not that I ain't want to smash you, I ain't smashing nobody else. It's just, you know, sometimes we go through shit where you just ain't into it. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't gonna give you a good performance, I don't want to do it. Cause hey, motherfucking reputation, you know, my shit on the line, like.
Especially if you laying down dope dick and all of a sudden you give me some trash,
like,
I'ma feel away.
You right. You gonna feel away. You gonna be like, wait a minute.
Right. And if you say some slick shit, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Like, oh, you talking shit. So next time I'm gonna get. But you know what I'm saying? But it's a conversation, man.
And I think what you said was so important of that reassurance of, you know, when you're in a relationship with somebody. Just reassuring them, like, it's not that I'm fucking somebody else.
Right.
It's not that I don't want you. I don't find you
that's the number one assumption.
So what's going on? Hold on, wait a minute.
Hey,
what's the problem?
That shit don't come from nowhere, man. It gotta be mental. It gotta be aligned. You know what I'm saying? Mind, body, soul.
Tests and shit like that, like suckers to see how long it take them to bust. It's balls heavy.
Another thing that kills me, y'all think y'all got these fucking quotes and these fucking riddles and shit, and it's true. That's heavy. That means he doing this. Or if he dick curved this way, he's doing this. Man, stop that shit, man.
I mean, if you had
that's true. If we ain't fucked in 3 months,
you don't think that shit is
another motherfucker? motherfucker.
Oh, now 3 months, that's a long, like,
you ain't fucking nobody else and you bust real quick.
If you living in a household with somebody,
so
right?
you wait. So you saying the dude bust quick then what?
If they bust too quick, right?
What that mean?
That's gonna mean that
he ain't fucking nobody. That nigga was excited.
Now he's sit up in it for hours. You used to busting off. You just ain't busting off at me.
Come on, man. Okay, so what if we peep game and we watch Pornhub and jack off that first time, so the next time when me and you get into it, I'm gonna go the distance. Is that cheating? Or is that me considering you, pleasuring you, and making sure?
It is, but it's also you.
But you sit here, oh, this nigga done had sex already. he going a little too, he going longer than usual.
But you can like look at niggas like, you can tell by I think like a nigga, so it's real hard for me or whatever. Like you can look at a nigga. I definitely think like a nigga.
I feel like because
this is how I feel. So y'all saying like 3 months. I mean, if you are cohabitating, right? Mm-hmm. It's different if you got a boyfriend or whatever and y'all live in separate places. That's different. But if you are cohabitating and you telling me that it's been 3 months and you ain't give me nothing,
that's tough. Because even if
that's a problem.
That's like with me and my ex, that shit has happened before.
Even if you get on my fucking nerves, if you walking around here with
you about to get it.
I'm gonna catch you slipping. We ain't gonna go 3 months.
But I'll say this though, like the reason why is because 6 days out of the week, night audit and picking up other shifts throughout the day. So she was like ridiculously exhausted all the time. And we had a fucking.
But you telling me 3 months, Tasha?
It was about 3 months.
Man, there's no way you could live in the same house with me and tell me we not having. The only way that we could not have sex for 3 months, there has got to be something life altering that's going on. Not your damn job, like something life altering. You done been in an accident and you just can't get up.
I respect what you said. Like, you said it can be something life. It don't automatically mean cheating.
Right.
Like I hate when people always think one certain thing leads to this certain cause. Mm-hmm. Like it could be.
I'll say this: once a woman's been cheated on, it's a lot of times when things tend to go awry in new relationships. That's the first thing she can't help but go to.
I mean, I disagree because I've been cheated on, and like with my last relationship, when things went left, I didn't. That's not where my mind automatically went. He didn't treat me like the last person treated me. You know what I mean? So there's no reason for me to put that on that person.
That's called growth.
Oh shit! Look at me growing out here.
That's called growth.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't feel the need. Sometimes you may say the wrong things to a person. You know, like if you're in that moment. But most of the times you won't put the wrong of one person on the next person. That shit wouldn't be cool.
Like I said, I think that comes down to growth. Like I know myself, because of my last relationship, the time frame in which my last relationship lasted, and like to be honest, that was my first. I dated, you know, when I was younger, but that was the like real relationship. Yeah. So at times in new relationships, I tend to be very weary of people and automatically assume they fucking lied to me or they out here trying to play me all type of fucking way. You know what I'm saying? And instead of thinking of it like, okay, this person isn't necessarily that person. Yeah. But it's hard to not equate the two. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it makes you feel the same way that you felt in that moment.
Exactly. Like I always.
That's when you gotta have a conversation with yourself. You be like, come on. This person might not be doing that. And then you hop out there and jump into conclusions and acting erratically. Then I'm gonna be like, oh, this bitch crazy.
Let's be honest. Like, am I the most rational bitch you ever met?
No. Absolutely not. Come on, man. No,
I'm far from the most rational bitch you ever met.
I don't know.
But I definitely agree with what like Dre's saying about situation of like you can't always make that your first assumption. You can't always just decide, oh well, this is what the fuck is going on just because.
So what if it's not work? What if it's just y'all in a relationship and they just don't give you enough sex or they want too much sex? Then how does that work? Is that going to be something that is going to push you guys away from each other even though you might have a bond? Is that a compromise point?
I think that comes down to conversation. And my most recent relationship, I made it very clear that as far as my like sex drive is concerned, I go in the ebbs and flows. So there's times where like I have a super high sex drive, I want to fuck all the time, and then there's times where I really don't want you to fucking touch me. To be perfectly honest with you, like you too close in my space agitates the fuck out of me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and like, I need you to understand that, like, I don't have a median where I'm at all the time. I'm either high or I'm low. So, because of that, I don't want you to think when I hit my low.
I feel like that is definitely something that someone would have to compromise with, because that's like all over the place. Because one minute
be an all over the place type bitch.
Yeah. So to make you feel like, okay, well, everything is fine now. Like, what the fuck just happened? It'll make the person feel like, damn, did I do something? Like, what happened? You know what I mean?
But
that'll put you all over the place.
And that's why I think communication is so important, of letting somebody know, hey, this is the way I tend to conduct myself on a regular basis. Like, this is, like, the way I am emotionally at times, especially when it comes to sexuality and things of that nature. But, like I said, it all comes down to you communicating with somebody and letting them know about what you do or how you feel about different things.
Sexual compatibility. So I guess that just depends. This is a conversation that need to be had in the relationship itself.
Right.
It's not something that's going to be a deal breaker.
Right.
It's just a conversation that needs to be had between the both of you.
Hey man, like the way I look at this relationship shit, like it's just the percentage of success is low, man. So, and I think, you know, people just got high expectations, and I say high because they go off of back in the day, and it was limited access to certain things, but just the way 2020 is, man.
So because you said that, let me hop into this other topic that I wanted to talk about. It was this female that posted a video on Facebook, and she's just going in saying that how black women have shittier options than black men when it comes to picking men. Saying that we have to pretty much settle for men. Either we're getting a guy that looks really good but doesn't have a job, or has a job and has a small penis, or like nothing matches up pretty much. She's pretty much saying that there's no good men out there. You gotta piece men together. Let me just say this. I am all for girl power and all that, right?
Right.
But I don't agree with shit that she said. But I'm gonna try and be the other voice, because I feel like you two have the same views that I probably have. So let me hear what y'all have to say, and then I'll try to be like devil's advocate in the mix.
Well, I watched the video, and I just feel like it's just real bias, you know, but that's just the world we live in today. I feel like it's men out here that take the time out, they establish themselves first, career, home, and the women that pursue those type of men are the women that only pursue those type of men, and only, you know what I'm saying, their values is low, and they got high expectations on their partner. Somebody, you know, they got a few kids, maybe more than one baby daddy, no career established, they just look good, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the same way she named all these situations, we could go down the list with women that we gotta settle for, you know what I'm saying? So it's just the type of person that you are, man, and nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
That, I think that's the main message I wanted to send from that video. That's the lightest I can put it, cause she was, you know, I don't knock nobody.
She did a little much.
I don't knock nobody, man, but did
you see the video, Tasha? How do you feel?
Okay, so let me first start off by saying, Shorty said she was a 10.
No.
That was a lie.
That's fake news. Number one.
I mean no disrespect.
No,
she's a gorgeous young lady, but she's not a 10.
Hey, all due respect.
All due respect. She's not a fucking 10.
That's fake news. Hey.
So let's
get that out of here.
Let's address. We're going to address the elephant in the room. We're going to address the situation.
Hey, I just want y'all to know I hate both of y'all.
She is not a 10. All right, she's a 6.5, 7 at best.
It's her best, oh God.
Why you talking, Miss Tasha? Let me go back.
Listen, and then in the comments, the funny part in the comments, a guy said, "This is clearly a 6 trying to get a 10."
I mean, here's the one thing I've always felt like in life, and that's why I try to pursue the different endeavors I try to pursue. Right? Mm-hmm. You can't work at McDonald's and say you want a CEO.
Yeah.
The shit just. I mean, you can't be a mediocre bitch trying to be with a boss nigga. That shit just cannot happen that way.
And I swear, trying to figure out how the hell am I going to be the devil's advocate in this situation, but because our views are so far apart, I can't even figure out what to say because I know better. I guess I'm trying to figure out what people would say if they're supporting her on her side in the
I'll say this.
situation.
If you're a
hard.
bottom bitch, right? Gosh, let me try a better way to say this.
Personally, I feel like you get what you put out.
Right.
If you are here, and this is the thing, right? She's saying all this, and she may very well feel like she's a boss bitch. Bitch might be the manager at Walmart.
I respect the confidence.
Yeah, she may very well feel like she's a boss bitch. She'd be like, bitch, I at CSM, I at Walmart, I doing my fucking thing. Fuck you talking about?
Right.
I make $12 an hour, bitch.
Right.
How y'all be?
Right.
But honey, there are other people out here that's actually, and I'm not knocking what you're doing. You may very well be a boss bitch in your lane, but you can't expect somebody that's several lanes over to come and scoop you up and give you what you want when you're not in their lane.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't look at people and be like, oh, my options are trash. Your options are trash because where you are.
I'm not gonna lie, like
I won't say that.
I think because I date women, I think I may have a different perspective, right?
Okay.
In my job or whatever, right? So, you know, I get people who come in or whatever, we tell them what the starting pay rate is for somebody who has no skill set. And they're offended when I have that conversation, like, you know, our minimum is $8 an hour. Now, if you have these different skill sets and you can bring this to the table, hell yeah, you'll make a whole hell of a lot more than that. But if you don't have shit to bring to me, then this is what the fuck you making.
Exactly. And that same concept needs to be taken into consideration when you out here looking for a mate, or if you got people that are approaching you and stuff like that. If you have a certain skill set in life, you need to look at that and know where you're going to be. And I think it's messed up because so many things are publicized and they think it's the norm versus the exception.
Right.
So you see these ladies out here that probably ain't the brightest, probably ain't doing exactly what they need to do to get where they need to be in life, but then they have this guy that's doing it and successful and this, that, and the third. That is the exception. That's not the rule. And I think people, because like I said, everything is so publicized, it's a show for every damn thing. They think that's the way life is supposed to be. No, pumpkin. Look at Susie down the road. Susie's husband worked for the city. Susie happy as she want to be. Susie know where the fuck her lane at. You understand? Susie ain't out here trying to be an Instagram model. Other stuff. Susie know where her lane is, and Susie is in her fucking lane. Period. But these young ladies, this young lady in particular, I feel like has the game messed up. She's talking about quality women, but at the end of the day, what do you call quality women? Just the same way that you feel like, oh, this guy has this going on and that going on, and he's not worthy of your time. The same way a guy might feel like, oh, you got this baby daddy and that baby daddy, or you look like this and you look like that, or you ain't natural, or whatever the case is, they may feel a type of way towards that. You know what I mean? So that may be them looking at it like, oh, well, now I got to choose from this one that got 2 baby daddies, or this one that got 3 baby daddies, or this one that got 3 kids, and this one that got 2 kids, but she got 2 baby daddies. This one got 3 kids and 1 baby daddy, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So you can't just go out there and attack people and act like you completely right. And I saw females on there making comments.
Ken broke her heart. I think that's the nigga she kept repeating.
Oh, she was calling a lot of guys' names on there. So that just made me feel like now you got this whole large body count and you talking about a nigga with little penis, but boo-hoo. When you naming all these names, like, who are these guys? Like, who are these?
I feel like I would have never seen this woman until somebody else brought it to my attention. She, you know, it's an opinion of few when you're looking at the overall, man. I know a lot of men that work for themselves or got very established and got you know, a lot going on, man, and a lot of them remain single because they just know women pursue men like them for
one reason, sometimes.
Monetary benefit or security. It's not genuine affection, love. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even put energy into this woman, man. Like, her opinion is her opinion. I respect everybody's opinion, man, and I can't even say I respect that. I understand that everybody entitled to their own opinion. So that in one ear and out the other, man.
So let me ask.
I could go in the same rant about women, but I'm a realist, and I know that I've seen the statistics saying that black women are the highest percentage of entrepreneurs. Black women are very,
educated women.
they're topping statistics on a lot of categories as far as businesses, education. So, but at the same time, where I'm from, where I came up from, I could pinpoint the bottom of the barrel worse the same way she did. So that is neither here nor there. It was just somebody, just the next person posting a fucking video that caught a little attention, man.
Yeah.
I feel like she jumped her feelings because she not kind of what the comment you was talking about said. She is sex out here trying to get a 10. And the shit is getting real frustrating for her.
The boy said she belonged to the street. That's what they said on the comments. That's sad to see. But like I said, what you put out there is what you get back.
Right. There are good men. There are decent people out here. Or what, like, what's wrong with a nigga who, like, just got out of jail recently? Like, what? Like, why is that such a bad thing? There's some niggas who just got out of jail trying to establish themselves on the bullshit.
And then she said a comment about guys who just have a 9 to 5 and that's all they want to do. They don't have any bigger goals. Not everybody is built to want to build their own company. If we didn't have the working American, we wouldn't have America.
And sis, let's be honest, you had on a fake Gucci.
Hey, leave that alone. That's, I mean,
I'm not gonna do this with you, Zeke.
She does look like an older woman with a side pouch on, but that's neither here nor there because, like I said, like when you make statements like that, then you open yourself up for criticism, and you can read the comments and see like it wasn't valued.
Yeah, you had a few women saying the same thing, but
I feel like you gotta be better, man, and do. Come on, man.
You
black
can't,
women,
man.
Like
somebody.
No, she's
like,
let me be very clear. She does not speak for all black women.
You can't be a penny out here looking for a dime.
Thanks.
And I'm not coming at black women, but I feel like her, like I said, we got out here hard enough, you know, against the world, man. For you to say some shit like that, I can't even acknowledge that, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With like my sexuality and the fact that I only date women, don't get me twisted any way, shape, or form. I still uplift black men on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
But I still think black men are kings and should be respected as such in every aspect.
And let's be very clear. A black man. What she's talking about is boys.
Them boys.
Like little boys who haven't found themselves
Right.
yet. So don't get the two confused. Just because you out here dating boys does not make you certified to speak about black men. Because it's not the same. Like, you can't think that you gonna go out here and date these young guys, or not even necessarily young guys that are just immature mentally, and you gonna get the same thing that you would get from a black man, because you won't.
You can, man, listen. A man, especially a black man, there's certain shit a black man, even with their pride and all, but they gonna make shit happen.
Yeah.
That's what a black man does. And it's you out here, to a certain extent, degrading them and saying that they ain't shit. And then y'all wonder why.
And then speaking to it like as if it's a whole. Like,
that's not true.
No, pumpkin.
I feel like when I say ignorance, that means you're not educated.
Right.
You're not seeking knowledge. You're not looking statistically. You're not looking at a wider, broad, you know what I'm saying? So for you to, okay, you might not know anybody, you know what I'm saying? But it's people that, you know, even if it's somebody you only see on Instagram, only can look up on the internet, there are people that do it. There are people that, you know what I'm saying, that are the person you talking about, man. So for you to say it's only this and say like you taking a step down by accepting us, like I felt some type of way, but when you say stuff like that, then it triggers me to look in depth on the type of person that's making that statement. Like when you say shit like that, you better be ready to defend yourself, and from what I saw, like it wasn't even worth it. Hey, everybody that made a comment, they said what needed to be said, so that shit dead to me. Like after this, that shit, oh man, that shit dead.
So as for her, she had a Charlemagne segment. She need to love herself. She need to love herself and elevate herself.
Right,
She worried about.
Give her a donkey.
And I said we should start doing donkey today. That bitch definitely. Like I won't say she's a donkey today. I just feel like
her view is narrow-minded because she's only looking at what she has in her area. Like she needs to expand her views. She needs to expand herself.
But
and educate herself more.
With the resources, technology, and the access that we have, I can't accept somebody being so ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
Just like racism, I can't accept that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You already know like how that shit started. You know, the shit is unfair. You know, and I ain't trying to get into that, but it's just, you know, just ignorance, pure ignorance, man. It's just pure ignorance, man. Like, and I ain't trying. I don't even want to get onto that. It's just an example of.
I'm just kidding.
You know, you ignorant, you breeding ignorance, and just.
Yeah.
You know, I can't respect that, man. So it's not for
and
me to even feel no type of way about it.
Yeah, females were under there, like, kind of agreeing with her and stuff like that. But me,
I feel like it's
as
a
a
certain
woman, I personally
caliber
can't agree with her.
I mean no disrespect when I say this, but I just feel like it's a certain caliber of female that agrees.
Yeah. I mean, I personally don't agree with her.
I don't.
For me, she did a little much. Like, at the end of the day, like, you did too much. Like,
I'm
for
in
no reason.
Same pool as the niggas. There's grade 8
She said I was in the same pool.
There's grade 8 bitches out here willing to love my black ass. Things aren't that tough for me.
Yeah, I feel like she's just in a small community or something like that.
Yeah.
And she's probably dating everybody in her community. And of course, I mean, if you in the same environment and you want more, then you got to expand your horizon. You got to put yourself in a different position so that you can see different people and see what else is out there. And then she said something about people, like most of the guys that are good guys, they're married at this point in time. And
that's not true.
When I first separated with my kid's father, I kind of sort of felt that way. But then I was like, no, not really. Like, there are other people out here. And even... like, there are other people out here, like, she just been doing too much for me at the end of the day. That was just, she went too far, and I just thought it was, like, too much, period.
Man, look at that shit.
You see?
Hey, boss, you've been still talking about this lady. It's giving her too much credit.
Too much credit. I agree. I agree. On to the next thing.
And that's how I move forward. You can't give certain shit so much.
That energy. I agree.
Right.
So, on to the next thing. So, I have TikTok, right? And don't laugh. Hey, me and the kids be doing TikTok. We be having.
I'm not downloading TikTok.
Listen, I saw a thing on Facebook saying if I download TikTok, somebody to come check on me because shit not gonna live.
I agree.
TikTok. Listen, me and the kids be doing TikTok. We be having fun. I love it. When I'm doing it with the kids. They be doing like pranks and stuff like that on TikTok and on Instagram and all these different, like the couples. They do these different pranks and stuff like that. Now, some of the pranks, sometimes I think pranks are funny, right? Like, it's not something that's not supposed to be funny. But sometimes, I feel like, with the couples, they be running out. Like, there was this one, it's this prank that they do where you walk in on your spouse and they look like they sleeping with somebody else or something. I don't necessarily, depending, I guess you would have to know the person that you're with, because I don't see that working out in the best in some situations. Like, if you in here pretending like you in here with another female, or you pretending like you in here with another guy, you know, trying to prank somebody, you fuck around and get shot.
I could even like this guy Chris Sales or whatever. He's like real hot on like Instagram, YouTube and stuff.
Used to be.
He
That's old girl, the singer, her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Queen Naja.
Queen Naja, yeah.
Queen Naja.
Oh, yeah. I like, you know what, because they used to be like the couple things, right? And then they separated because he cheated or something like that.
I think they were like the first like viral couple on YouTube.
Yeah.
That I can remember, man.
Probably. Now, they used to do vlogs. Y'all didn't used to watch vlogs?
Right.
I didn't even think Kamari turned me on to that. She used to watch this couple, but
yeah, it was
a lot of the couples,
years ago.
they used to, they split up. A lot of them are split up now.
A lot of them. But
I think and it's just because of that. Just
when you got so
social
many
media,
people into your business.
Yeah. And he you know, both of them were very popular, and they just turned out that she was a little more loyal to him, and the shit ain't work out, man. So
how do y'all feel about the pranks as far as people doing?
Now, what he did, the prank he played right on his son, who's like 3, I think, is he pretended to be dead.
What, on a 3-year-old?
In the, like, you could hear the little boy.
I don't think
in
that's
a
funny.
Pure and utter fucking panic.
that's not cool, man.
That's not funny.
Dad! Like, in a panic. And I'm like, in no way, shape, or form is that shit
That
funny.
shit is going to scar that baby.
Right.
That's not funny.
Like you said, and back to what you said, like a lot of shit, like even with the
like they're
fake,
sleeping with
fake
somebody.
Cheating, like,
yeah, that shit is not funny.
I think you know, and that just show you like how far we come, like how numb to common sense.
Yeah.
We are, because you
Right.
do stupid shit like that just to get a like, man. Like, that shit is like,
Yeah.
They,
like,
listen, they
if I
will
love
address
you,
anything.
you playing on my heart to make
Yeah,
me
that's not
think
even funny.
that you would do some shit like that. Disrespect me in our crib and just do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That shit, for me, I don't think it's funny. I think, like, they haven't shown anyone where anybody got hurt or whatever the case. There was this one prank that I saw. So the girl's boyfriend was in the shower and her friend was staying over and the friend was in the bathroom, the boy was in the shower. So when the girlfriend came in, it looked like they had been together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she's in, man, I was like, man, I don't even want to talk about no shit like that. Hey, everybody had to go.
yeah, that's
The way I set up, everybody got to do
that.
it. You playing with me all kind of way out here.
that's
That sounds crazy.
But I mean, that's the
That's
shit
too
that they do when they think that shit is like. But I think they're so addicted to the money, and because they're so addicted to the money aspect of it, they will do anything just to get those views, just to get those likes, to make sure to get them YouTube checks.
It ain't about money at all. Some people, they would think that they're famous because they get 10,000 likes.
Yeah,
Not $1. So it's definitely not about the money, because
it's all about the fame.
because you gotta think the likes came before the companies. So say you do something, you go viral, and you get a million likes.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting paid for it, but one company had to say, hey, this person bringing all these people. I'm going to ask them, can I promote
Right.
what I'm doing for a day or so, and I'll pay you to promote it, because I know when you post some shit, you're going to get a million likes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the result of that is you got all these people. Yeah, some of them want to do them for the money, but a lot of them be like, yo, I got
The notoriety of it.
10,000 likes.
Just say you quote unquote Instagram famous.
Yeah, for example, so I used to live in North Carolina. I seen this dancer, man, and Tory Lanez answered her on his quarantine radio and let her dance. And she just thought she made it. She ain't get $1. She ain't,
Look at all those girls who put their pussy on
For Boosie.
Instagram Live
Boosie
for
Radio.
Boosie. And Boosie
Radio.
didn't give them bitches a red cent.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want y'all to
So
know
you
Boosie ain't shit.
look,
Boosie ain't shit.
No, because Boosie was promising a band now and then wasn't giving them bitches shit.
Listen, them bitches ain't shit either. Why would you put yourself out there?
My thing is, the point I'm trying to make is, it ain't about the money.
It's the
They'll do
notoriety.
it for the likes.
This
Like
is
I
true.
said,
They do it for the likes.
Like,
This is true.
when people lose value, like, it just show you, like I keep telling y'all, like, our society today is fucked up because people values and morals is judged off of how many likes they gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fucking disrespect their spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, kid,
All of that.
themselves.
I'm about to say the same thing themselves.
They talking about these men wearing wigs and all this shit. Like, yeah, this shit be funny, but some of y'all niggas will make 100 videos in wigs and makeup. Come on, man. Come on. Like, your kids, you out here saying you got a girlfriend with kids and you doing that shit. Like, hey, that's how you get your money, but like, is it really worth that? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I can't think. There was one black actor who was talking about how they wanted to dress him up in a movie to like look like a woman, and he like vehemently he refused.
I know Dave Chappelle is one of those guys who will not do anything like that. He will not
But
put
that-
on.
But Dave
anything
Chappelle
like
be saying
that.
problematic shit about trans niggas.
But that's my
Love
point.
Dave
Like,
Chappelle.
okay,
Me too.
so if you're an actor,
Shit is funny.
if you an actor, like Madea, he an actor.
But Tyler
Tyler Perry's an actor, but he don't only play Madea.
But
He plays the brother.
80% of the
He
time,
plays the brother. He got a movie. He play a lawyer. He got a movie. He play action
you
hero.
may have to.
You got these dudes out here that only do
But
the
let's be
street
honest.
shit.
Listen, let's be honest. Tyler Perry is a whole sugarfoot out here. He just won't admit it openly.
Hey, listen.
You
if
think
he is,
so?
my point is, people take away their values. Whether it's you claim you a man, and you posing as a woman because that's popular on social media. It's not your preference. I don't
Got
care
it.
about preference.
Yeah.
But if you kill somebody because you think you're gonna get a million likes, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that's the point.
But that's the generation that we're in, as far as people doing things for like Tasha, what we talked about it the other day off air about the kids, what is it? The influencers or whatever.
Yeah, like
they
the Instagram influencers.
They think just for life.
There was a young man who like
Exactly.
so they started Instagram beef, right? Over something real menial, real stupid. And the end result of that beef was a 15-year-old little boy getting shot in his fucking head and his mama having to bury him.
Prime example.
And it's like, all of that, my nigga, all of that, yeah, you got the likes, yeah, you got the views, but a young man's life was taken in the midst of all of that.
Yeah.
That's my point exactly. I think people losing value in themselves and in relationships.
Yeah.
Because they're busy trying to get likes on Instagram.
For likes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I think it's important, like, no, I don't think you should keep your relationship private, right?
You don't think you should keep it private?
Like, yeah, y'all can post pictures every now and again, things like that. But as far as, like, the core part of our relationship, like, say y'all have a disagreement. That shit shouldn't go on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram.
No, I'm going to raise
like that. Like,
hold on. I'm going to raise my hand and say I disagree. And this is why I disagree. Because you can be in a relationship and you and your partner can be happy as fuck. As soon as you post a picture, bitches ducking because they see you happy. And bitches will try to knock you.
I got a question.
That's neither here nor there if you want to.
How old are you?
30.
30. So before Instagram and Facebook and
there was MySpace.
How would you let everybody know you had a boyfriend?
MySpace started about 14, so
right.
I already know.
Okay, so
I ain't gonna lie, like I was in a relationship with somebody for about 8 months before I ever posted it. And we just jocked and vibed and had our own thing. Like, we didn't need to post all that bullshit.
Because that shit is unnecessary.
This is my thing. This is my take on it, okay? I feel like my shit ain't no out the blue reason. You know, I had a relationship and I was feeling her. She was bad. She's fine. Like, motherfuckers like her. Like, anybody posts like, yo, you gotta keep her. But I had a bunch of pictures of her on my page, but she still was out here foul. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
I understand.
People think, like, when you post them on your page, warrant some
that
type of respect and do something. And it was crazy because we still dealt with each other after that situation. That was one of the arguments. But when we ended our situation, not getting into a new situation, that was an argument. Like, you don't post me on your... And I was like, but I'm the type, like, I'm a provider. You know what I'm saying? If you short something, there's something wrong, I'm going to fix it. If you short, I'm going to take care of it. So you know, she was insulted that I didn't put on my page, but I was insulted to the fact that you acknowledge
real shit.
You don't acknowledge the real shit that matters. What I do because you wanna impress some motherfuckers you don't even know.
Yeah, I think
like,
that's where things are now.
I never met. I ain't never drank with. I ain't never hung out with. I don't know where they live. They don't know where I live. We built a relationship strictly off of social media and might not even be a relationship. So for with that person after the situation I had, that was a red flag for me. I turned that shit down.
Because you worry too much about what other people think instead of being in a situation that you want to be in.
I don't even know exactly how, like, Facebook friends, right? Mm-hmm. And we ended up both working at Verizon and being in the same training group, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, you look really familiar to me.
Because she was your Facebook friends, yeah.
I was like, oh, you're Maddox's mom. I promise you, after that fucking conversation, me and that bitch never spoke again. And not because there was an issue of friction. Yeah, we have been Facebook friends for quite some time. Yeah. But that didn't mean we was friends in real fucking life.
But at the end of the day, I think people run out. Like, people be wanting to be posted too much. I think that shit is unnecessary. Because for me, like, they had to shit with boyfriend, national boyfriend day and all this other shit. So, motherfuckers,
I don't believe in none of that shit.
Motherfuckers making up holidays. I think y'all make up holidays.
How you don't believe in those holidays, but you believe in posting people on it's all the same. I'm talking.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Listen, I'll be honest with you. In 3 years, I've only posted one person as my WCW. And that's Gabe.
The question is, if he doesn't post you, does that bother you?
Mm-hmm. I'll say this, right? In my last relationship, I didn't post her. She never posted me. Even though we were together, it wasn't an issue. Mm-hmm. And then the one time she posted me, it caused a huge issue.
Yes, all that shit does is cause issues.
The only thing like homegirl did, her homegirl was a disrespectful bitch.
Right.
And was like, oh, shorty got pretty titties.
But
And
when
I was
you
like,
think
what
about
do
it,
you mean?
but when you think about it, that's the basis of why a person pushes for you to post, because they want to see the reaction that the other people are going to get, because it's going to let them know. It's going to let them know if you being faithful or not. If I post you, then you expect the other girl I've been messing with
to say something under the comment.
about,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
No,
So
I'm not. I used to be insecure like that, but I've outgrown that insecurity to where, like, when me and Toya was together, right? And, like, she posted me a couple times, like, shouted me out a couple times and different things like that. It wasn't an issue for me, but it was an insecurity for me because I knew a very close friend of hers knew something about me intimately that I didn't want to have a conversation with Toya about, if that makes sense.
So I feel like this. Me personally, I don't like all that posting stuff like that, because all that shit does is cause issues.
I'm secure in my
like anytime, and this is on both ends, males and females. As soon as you post somebody on your page or something like that, and they're attractive or whatever the case is, people immediately start either in your DM or in the other person's DM, like, or instant messenger or whatever the case is. It's always some extra shit that you don't like. That shit would have never came about had you not posted that.
Some real shit a friend said to me very recently. She was like, it was her and her ex having a conversation, and she said, at the end of the day, nigga, the only reason they want you is because you with me.
That's the only reason why. Like, bitches will try you because they want what I have.
Because
them bitches may not even necessarily
exactly see you the way y'all move, and they
bitches may not necessarily always be interested in you, but they see you with somebody else, and now they feel like that's how they be, and it's the same for guys.
Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead. I ain't gonna interrupt. Go ahead.
I just feel like it's y'all making it matter too much, and I feel like for me to be a man, opening myself and being real with a woman, for you to limit my love and my affection for you to social media, that's insulting me.
Yeah,
I
agree.
agree.
If you say you don't post me, you ashaming me. You hiding me. You don't want your people to know about me. Like,
that's why the old people
that's
relationship
not necessarily the case, man. And exactly.
Yeah, no, that's a lie. Because I saw a meme. They've been married for 75 years, and the shit was like, that bitch been over that shit. That bitch been tired of this shit for the past.
But times change, man. Times change, and I agree with you. I think back in the day, a lot of relationships stayed together.
Women were
for the relationship, for the kids.
Yeah.
For the comfortability, and I've heard women tell me that themselves.
They're being held hostage
because they were comfortable. The
like,
bills, the nice house, the everything.
I ain't gonna lie, my granny, like both of my grandmothers, were staying in relationships that were toxic and weren't good for them because they had kids and a financial stability, so they were held hostage due to that situation.
And then you know what? The era after that was these women was getting beat on, they get cheated on, and they still stay with the person. But now with social media, when you posting your pictures, and that's just the downside. You posting all these pictures and all this shit. Then the next minute you want to say, "Oh, niggas ain't shit. I'm good by myself. I'm gonna focus on my own shit. I'm gonna do this, and this." And then the next week is this gonna be bae no matter what. Y'all so heavy on the social media shit, but then you done made all your followers look like, are you weak? It's
but I think,
you need them.
Listen, I think that's what it come down to the conversation we had at the beginning. To it was like, if you not gonna leave, let that nigga cheat in peace.
Exactly.
Let that man cheat in fucking peace.
And a lot of times, I mean, to be honest, like with the social media era, relationships, it's rare that you see somebody in a long-standing relationship. In a relationship, like for me personally, like I told, was that you and Nick I was talking to the other day? Either way, we got to go through some shit. Like I don't even think like you can hop in a relationship now and have that same level of loyalty.
Y'all expecting people to handle shit a certain way. I think the downside of that is if you was in that situation, you wouldn't even handle it the way that you think people should handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got clear evidence that this dude did you dirty, Like it'd be certain shit that he say or certain shit that you be like, if we gonna make it, I need you to do this, this, and this. But what he done cross the line. But he was like, baby, I promise I never. And you take him back.
Yeah, no, and that's you making a choice. So that's what I'm like when people.
But that's a tough situation to be in.
Like when you make a choice, like at the end of the day, everybody has a choice.
Right.
And I tell my kids that shit all the time.
Right.
Either it's not necessarily saying all the time it's gonna be an easy fucking choice. You might have two fuck ass options, but you still have an option. Either you can stay there and deal with the shit that he's willing to do and say you're gonna work on your relationship and move forward past it, or you gonna walk away. But you can't sit and act like you gonna have it all. Like that's your decision to make at the end of the day. So that's why sometimes when I look back at the relationships that I've been in, I'm not completely upset about the things that happened because I allowed those, like, I sat there and allowed those things to happen. Like, I allowed you to go out there and do what you want to do, and I want to continue to stay there and work on our relationship or whatever the case is. Not all the time is it that person's fault alone. You know, it's not always that person's fault alone.
Listen.
I've been in that situation prior myself to where I dealt with, like, time after time of bullshit. Or whatever.
Right.
But because I love that person and I wanted that our family to work, I was willing to do whatever it took. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
This is you know, I'm 36 years old, man. I've been through it. Like, I've been through a lot of relationships. And this is what I tell people. When you ready to leave, you will know. You will know.
You look like you fall out of love.
I seen people, like, when they say that love is a hell of a drug, I don't think ain't no stronger drug, because that love shit will make you do
all
some
kind of bullshit behind
You be right here
crazy shit. So I say people will know when they finish, because you know your family will say it's time to go. Your best friend will say it's time to go. You will listen to them, but you gonna stay with them. You know what I'm saying? But when you know that
inside that you done,
you ready, and you done with it.
Say that.
That's when you leave. So I tell everybody, and my situation, I had to be left on the couch, think about all the times I should have left and I didn't left, and I like, man, it's time to go. And I was done arguing everything, and that's why I tell everybody when that shit hits you, it's time to go, man.
Let me ask you this, because you said about family and stuff like that. How do y'all feel as far as putting family or friends in your business? Like,
it's
me personally,
I'm not that type of person.
You need that support. When you love somebody and y'all life is joined together, y'all got kids, right? Mm-hmm. So when you separating somebody you had kids with, that shit is hard.
Yeah.
So for you to do that by yourself, that shit is almost like
damn near impossible.
I don't even know how to. Yeah.
We're not saying separating, but just in your relationship, if you're having issues, are you talking to like a family? Like me personally, I don't talk to other people about issues that I have in my relationship.
This, right?
But when your family see you not with that person, they gon'
your family gonna see that shit.
Like for me personally, I don't. Like if me and a partner are having an issue or whatever the case is, or we're going through a hard time in our relationship, I don't take that to my family members, because I might love that person, but they don't love that person like I love that person.
Right.
So you hop out there. So you hop out there. No, hold on. You hop out there and you say these things, and you tell your family member these things, right? And then now they have a perception of this person. But not all the time are you going to tell them how this person makes you happy, how this person makes you feel complete at the end of the day, but you already tell them the bad shit. And now your family members got this image of this person like, I don't fuck with that nigga. Oh, I don't fuck with that bitch.
Listen.
Like, I just read that shit out there, because you never going to have a comfortable family gathering. They going to be looking at that nigga side eye like, look at that fucking bitch nigga right there. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no point. Mr. Andre.
Appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We appreciate it as always. Please be sure to
like and follow our Facebook page at IQ Queens, and that's IQQUEENS. Follow us on Twitter at IQ Queens, the number 1. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at IQ Queens, and you can email us anytime at IQQueens1@gmail.com.
Thank you guys. Again, we appreciate you as always. See you next time. Bye.